بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. Inshallah, our lecture today is going to be about politics, the new test of Allah Azza wa Jal. In previous lecture, I spoke many times about the connection between science and religion and how important is science combined with religion, because Allah Azza wa Jal, when He created the science, He created from the science the religion, because He need to set first the laws, and then from those laws He need to make the constitution. Those constitution always built on the ability of the human being, how to intercept with a living environment, and how Allah Azza wa Jal, He want to protect us from this living environment, if we can call it this name. But today I'm going to be more specific about the sign of appearance of Imam Mahdi Salamullah alayh. As we're living in this world now, science and religion are very important to always lighten our ways that we're working on. Our religion, we're presenting to Allah Azza wa Jal, our salat, prayers, fasting, on everything we do in a single basis. But from the outside, from the cultural way and the way in the place we live, Allah Azza wa Jal, He created this system that He want us to be managed. They want us to manage it, because at the very beginning Allah Azza wa Jal, He made a Khalifa on earth. Khalifa is someone who is representing Him, but since human beings refused this Khalifa, specifically after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and they chose someone else, Allah Azza wa Jal still give us, because of His rahmah and forgiveness, give us an ability to manage our ways, at the same time to make it goes to His way with Imam Mahdi Salamullah alayh. And going this way needed us to comprehend the politics. Not just comprehend the politics, even go into a deeper view. And this view is very important, because later Allah Azza wa Jal will put all the fitna, all the tests, and then He will test us with what we know, what exactly we think about, because your reflection of thoughts always will bring those people that they will represent you. Allah Azza wa Jal, through Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, said, it's something that give the politics an overview. If we really know what is it, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam once said, whoever you are, Allah Azza wa Jal will represent it by your reflection. For example, if you see a country that the president of a country is smart, humble, or so on, you will know that the people of this country are humble and smart. If you see a country that is represented by someone who is very aggressive and who like his own race or so on, you will understand that the people who live in this country are like that. So even though if you find someone, for example, like he's very aggressive with his own people, you will see that the system that he is under or he is over are exactly the same way. For example, we in the Middle East, we suffer from the tyrants, and then when you look at why those tyrants are still in power, you see that the people who are under them are doing exactly the same way. So Allah Azza wa Jal will send tyrant for the people who really are like that at home, or really like that in culture. So to understand all this, we need a concept, and Allah Azza wa Jal, He's showing us many concepts. Now I wanna go historically a little bit, because it's important to understand all history, because now we are at the very end of all tests. And maybe some of you who live in the Middle East or in the area of East Asia or West Asia will understand more the suffering of those people, because most of us now, for example, United States or UK or all countries, we live as an immigrant, but we don't really take all the rights that the people here they're taking. But at the same time, we cannot forget all our culture and religion that we come from. So we live in the middle, suffering what exactly we are going to be and what is exactly our identity should be like. So I want to go a little bit in history just for you to understand, because after now the lecture is becoming very important, specifically for the people who are gonna be or who would love to be with Imam Mahdi Salamullah alayh. During the 60s, we did see a lot of revolution that has the flavor of nationalism and the love of country and so on, and all those. If you remember all these things, like for example in Egypt Abdel Nasser, or in Iraq the King Faisal, or all those people. So they, and then later they did one country, one Arabic country, and then later they will start doing it to Yemen, and later they wanted to do it to all Arab country. So nationalism at that time, it was the main idea that going to unite all the Arabic world and the all Islamic world. But later we discovered that it's a failing system. Why? Because it was under a different interest, because people has a different interest, and those people, they use something we love so much, they want to unite us. So as a unity, if we are a nationalist or not, Allah Azza wa Jal is not going to give us a credit for it, because at the end of the day it's a country that Allah Azza wa Jal created, and we made a border for it, and this border is not presented by Allah, because there's something has to unite us, and this unity has to come from the Quran al-Kareem or from the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we tried many ways after nationalism. We tried, some of them they tried what Russia was like, and then they failed. They tried the imperialism and they failed. So 40-50 years we tried many systems, and now we are looking at a country that succeed in what exactly they're looking for. After all this sanction and after all what they did to it, it's still succeeding. What we call now Iran. If we look at it, we look at what exactly the system is. It's an Islamic system, and this system is following Imam Mahdi salamullah. They want Imam Mahdi to appear, to do the justice for the whole world and so on. And for the Arabic world and for Muslim world, now we see that only people who are succeeding, if you really following the news, are the followers of Ahlul Bayt, while others, I am sorry to say that they're failing in every way, because they don't have a leader, a real leader, because everything is failing under nationalism, and they failed, and then they said we are going to make an Islamic state, and then Daesh came in, ISIS, and then we saw exactly the real face of other school of thought, and Daesh represent that face very well. So all the dreams of making a Sunni empire again like used to be failed, because now we have news, people see what exactly look like. And I'm sorry to say, but I have to say that Daesh, she was a real representation for the other school of thought than Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. All what they did exist in a narration from the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. All the beheading, all the raping, everything they did it from the narration of Al-Bukhari and so on. So it is unescapable. Nobody can escape it anymore. Nobody say our religion is so and so, because this whatever they did it from the Sahabat Rasulullah, the companion of, not all of them for sure, but the people who took power after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we see in the Arabic world a big movement. Many of them, they don't want to say that this is happening, but they're moving to be atheists. Some of them, they're moving to different country. They say this country is better than what we live in on, and this is not representing my Islam, while we showed many times the proof that this is from the books. It is all what ISIS is doing and did before, but alhamdulillah now it's going away. So the only school of thought now, it's showing the real face of Islam, is the Shia of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. But now the test is coming more closer to us, while at the beginning, like from 6 years ago, we see for example Saudi Arabia, they're spending billions of dollars to speak very bad about the maraja of Shia and of the ulama of Shia, and they're bringing people who are wearing a white or black turban, they call them a Sayyid or so on, just to use them for the political the politics to start. They want to try to control the Shia of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. Why? Because they see them now the real danger for their own imperial views. And then now we're moving to this test, and this test is going to be, my brother and sister, very hard test. Why? Because we have now, when those people are start giving money for the wrong people, the Shia of Ahl Bayt, Shia of Ahl Bayt, they will start making a lot of fitna, and this fitna is they're trying to destroy the Shiaism. I'm gonna tell you 7 sections of Shia now, Alhamdulillah, and all of them, those ones are important, and inshallah all of them are going to be inshallah in heaven, yani the real follower of Ahl Bayt. But how did we know there is 7 sections? If you remember whatever happened at Ashura, at Karbala, with Imam Hussein salamullah alayh, everything that he did, it is representing something. It's going to represent something very important. And at the very end, when Imam Hussein salamullah alayhi, he was standing there for prayers, he was praying. What happened is the Zuhair ibn al-Qayn salamullah alayhi, he was a companion of Imam Hussein salamullah alayhi, and he was standing there protecting him while he's praying. So something happened back then, so the people over there, they start throwing arrows at Imam Hussein salamullah alayhi. And there's a narration that say there were 7 arrows going through, like Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, he start protecting Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein is behind him praying, and he's trying to protect him from all arrows. And if we really look more deeper into it from the science of Irfan, we see that Imam Hussein, he's speaking to us through all these years, speaking to us through all these things. And he divided the Shia, not division. He put the Shia as a systemically, there is 7 type of Shia. That's why we need to always educate each others. We need to always take the hands of each other to become the 7th level. The first level, they're becoming very powerful now. This level is, they believe in Ahl Bayt salamullah alayhim, they believe in teaching of Ahl Bayt salamullah alayhim, but they do not believe in what we call it the wilayah takwiniyah, the power of Ahl Bayt. For example, Allah Azza wa Jal, He gave the power for example, if you read Hadith al-Kisa, they will say Hadith al-Kisa is a weak Hadith. They will say so on and so on and so on, and all this hadith that's speaking about the power of Amir al-Mu'mineen or the power of Rasulullah. They will say those people, they were normal people. Allah Azza wa Jal said those people we have a prophet, we have his own family, we respect them, and that's it. But they believe that those people are the imams after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is very important. This is the key. This is the first level of the Shia. And this is what I call them the section of magnified ego. Why? Because the first arrow they sent to Amir al-Mu'mineen, to Imam Hussein, if they were there at that battle, as in we always say, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum, we wish we were there with you. So if we wish to be there with you, Allah Azza wa Jal, He's going to test us, and He's testing us by our way of politics, how we're living every single day. So the first level is that when they are ready to take the first arrow, they will take it over, they protect Imam Hussein, but believe it, those people, if they were put in this battle of Karbala, they will let the second and the third and the fourth arrow up to the 7th arrow to go through them. They will not take more arrows, but they will take the first one. The second one, and those people, let me tell you, it's important to educate ourselves, to keep telling them about why Allah Azza wa Jal gave the power of Ahlul Bayt. What is the real representation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And over here we have to get more knowledge, to show them those proofs, because all those proofs are existing, and alhamdulillah in all the lectures we are trying to show them the reality of Ahlul Bayt salamullah, the importance of Hadith al-Kisa, the importance of Hadith of Dua Tawassul. That Sayyidah Zahra, she was mazluma, they killed her. Some people, they still believe that this moment she wasn't killed and she didn't have her son Muhsin. Those Shia now, they exist in Middle East, and they don't want to go more further than that. This is the first one. The second section of Shia are the section of squeezers. Those people they believe so much in Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. They love Ahlul Bayt so much they will say Ahlul Bayt they have the power of Wilayah Takwiniya. They say Ahlul Bayt are the best people that Allah Azza wa Jal created, and they accept everything we say and so on, but they have very bad quality. And this quality say that the first section, they will talk about the first section, they will say, oh, first section are disbelievers, we don't love the first section of Shia, those people are kafirin. So a person, when he say that specifically from the follower of Ahl Bayt, immediately, even though he should be in a 7th level, those people should be in a 7th level, but because they did takfir, they said those people are not the first level, those people are kafirin. When they say that, Allah Azza wa Jal, He kicked them away from this system, and He put them in the 2nd level, even though they will go further to the 7th one. So if you are from those people, I want you to start thinking about Rahmatullah Azza wa Jal, start educating themselves. If you see someone who doesn't believe so much in Ahl Bayt, in their power and so on, go to the Quran, go to the Hadith, and try to convince them. Don't tell them you are kafirin, don't tell them you're not Shia anymore or so on, because those people are doing fitna now, and a person who's doing fitna is a bad person. Now the third section is qism, the section of interest. What do I mean by the section of interest? Is the people who are ready to take the 3rd arrow. The first, second, they care about Ahl Bayt, they know they're so on, but every single, for example, Friday they do Hadith al-Kisa. Why? They have interest. They have say, oh Allah, we love Ahl Bayt, please give us money and so on. Oh Allah, so on. Yeah, don't kick us from your rahmah. So yeah, we don't want your bala. We don't want to go gain more knowledge. I believe what Sayyid said. Sayyid said about Wilayah Takwini. I believe anything, but please don't give us more ibtila. Don't give us any. Just always give us happiness, and we will be with you. This is the 3rd section. The 4th section are the section of the tests. We live in a world filled of tests, and this test can be anything we face during every single day. Our kids, our husband, or our wife, or our work where we're working now. What's exactly happening? People dealing with people is very hard. People are conducting a lot of transaction. For example, when you go outside, you see what exactly going on. So those people are under these tests, and if you don't continue taking those tests, Allah Azza wa Jal will always put you in a 4th level, because He understands what exactly you're made for from inside, what exactly Allah Azza wa Jal, what exactly you are making yourself. So those ones are they're busy with their tests. They don't want to advance themselves. How do you advance yourself? Always by doing more awrad, or always by praying at night. You see, praying night prayer is very important to take you away from the 4th level. So if Allah Azza wa Jal, those people will take them to Karbala, they will only take 4 arrows, because at the 4th arrow, for example, you have 4th arrow and you're still alive, you'll feel so much pain. That's why I called it the section of tests. When you have 4 arrows, you have a lot of pain. But let me tell you, if there's a 5th arrow comes to you, the pain's going to continue to be the same. But now you are going from the tests, every single day tests that I mentioned, to the doctrine of testing. For example, the doctrine, for example, why I am Shia, why I am doing this for Ahl Bayt Salamullah alayhim, why I have to stand up at my university and teach people about Islam, why I have to, for example, wear hijab, and this hijab I have to be so proud of it, why I have to continue crying about Imam Hussein, because now something inside your head saying, okay, Imam Hussein died from 1400 years, why I want to continue doing that. So now there's a section of doctrine test, why you are under a lot of tests from the outside and you are on test from the inside. And then over here, it's where you start getting more the gold inside you out. Remember when I spoke about the Samiri and Musa, I told you the gold, what Allah Azza wa Jal is looking to make us. He wants to make us from gold inside, from the inside, within inside. So this is the fifth, the section of doctrine. The sixth one is where the section of Iblis testing. Brothers and sisters, this particular one is very hard. Why? Because all your life is going to be under his vision, Iblis. And when you are under his vision, if you are a man, many women will come by. And if you are a woman, many men will come by. There will always be something tempting you, always to do something bad. Believe me. These ones, when Iblis come to you, it is very, very, very tricky. Because why? Because he will use all his knowledge. Iblis is not a stupid creature. He studied human being for 17,000 years. He know from the very beginning how to play with the sons of Adam. One of them killed someone else, and then he starts studying us. Why? Because now you see many Muslims, they will say, you know what, it's okay. We have here in our community, we have people who are wearing scarves, and they will say it's fine to be homosexual. This is how God created you. This is what they will say. This is how we'll talk, and that's very bad. Why? Because Allah Azza wa Jal, He will not accept that. He did not put you as a middle person to say yes or no on what you don't really know. We have people now who are wearing hijab, or people who should supposed to be like sheikhs or someone. They will convince married women to do bad things outside. I don't want to go really deep into it, but some people, they will say the test of Iblis is very easy. No, it's not. Sometime he will come, he will bring you, Iblis, la'natullah, the devil. He will bring you. He will say, go pray. I want you to pray. I want you to go closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. Look how, and Iblis, the devil, he waits a long time. Why? Because if he see you a person that many people will follow, then he will make you powerful. He will get you people around you, surrounding you, because many people are following him without knowing or noticing. So he will start bringing many people around you. He will start raising you. He will say, talk about salat, talk about siyam, talk about what exactly should be, and so on. You need to talk about hijab. You need to so this person become more powerful, and now he is raising the ego inside. And this is the baddest thing now we're suffering in any country. You see many egos. You go to the masjid, you speak to the sheikh, or you speak to a person who should be a believer. Those person, they don't have a temper on one word. They will immediately start fighting with you, and this is bad. Why? Those persons should be representing the beautiful forgiving Allah Azza wa Jal. Because if you are always in a masjid, then Allah Azza wa Jal, He should giving you from His nur, and then you should presenting this nur outside. You should be a forgiving person. You should be a given person. But you look, I'm sorry to say that, at many people who say we are good believers and so on, they're only good believer for their own interest. And that's why Imam Hussein said, you will see many people, they're talking about religion. You'll see many people, they're talking about how religion is good and Allah is good. But when He sent the test, and this test can be, for example, you go with them in a trip, and you will start seeing the reality, what exactly they're made of. And those people they start make you hate religion, but they don't really represent religion. We are fooled to believe that they're really representing religion. And this is the 6th section of Shia. The 7th section, that Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, he was from this section, he was able to take all the 7 arrows. When he has become the elite of Shia. Why? Because he tried to manage all those sections. And let me tell you something, do not think when you are in the first one, He's not testing you for the second one, Allah Azza wa Jal. Don't think Iblis is gonna leave you if you're in the first section or second. No, it's a build-up thing. It's a build-up, the concept of everything together. But now we're focusing on one main road. When you say Amirul Mu'mineen is who should be after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you are bringing all those sections to you. One arrow can be equal to 7th arrow in pain, but one arrow is not this like the 7th arrow. Why? Because now you are having your body and you're protecting Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein now he is representing the Safinatun Najat, the ship that will take you to the real world, to the save. He will save you. Why? Because we are working on what exactly Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam want, and what exactly Allah Azza wa Jal want. So I wanted to speak about those 7 sections, because this is how we're going to be with Imam al-Asr, Imam al-Mahdi salamullah alayh. And I want you to say, since you guys are living in the West, and I'm not sure how many people they listen to me to those lecture in English, but I want you listen to those lecture. I want you to always be positive person. I want you to always pray to Allah Azza wa Jal to hastenate the return of Imam Mahdi. I want you to always follow the news, because we have a lot of brothers and sisters in the Middle East are suffering, and they're suffering for us. If you are living away and you're always just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about your business, you're thinking about your family, and you're not thinking about those Muslims, be sure that you're not gonna be with Imam Mahdi. The people who inshallah are going to be with Imam Mahdi are the people who care for all Muslims. They care if they're hungry, they care if they're suffering or not suffering, they care if they're happy, you will be happy with them. But it's not just the feeling they want from you, they want action. They want someone who is really working. They want someone who send, for example, some money to a poor people there. We have many poor people. We have many people who do not have food to eat, or do not have clothes to dress. I just wanted to reflect on this one. I want you to always focus on politics. Inshallah, I will speak more in the future. Usually I speak more Arabic lecture regarding the political case, but I would love to speak more if I see more reaction from the brothers and sisters. Please, if you have any question, please ask it under this video. Inshallah, I will be returning. Inshallah, in the future, we will open the door for questions and answer over the phone, because many brothers are asking this one. They want immediate answers for some questions. Inshallah, we will be opening a new website soon. Inshallah, we will be launching a new services that this way will be more connected with you, will be more connected to what exactly concerning you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal-'asr inna al-insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilu s-salihat wa tawasaw bil-haqq wa tawasaw bis-sabr. Wa assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.